Namaskar and welcome to this exciting new episode of Sattology Debunking Mythology. सत एक धातु है, उसका अर्थ होता है ट्रुथ और रियल, इटर्नल भी होता है उसका शब्द का अर्थ। और उसको लोगोस के साथ जब हम कंबाइन करते हैं तो बन जाता है सत्तोलॉजी, विच इज साइंस और स्टडी ऑफ ट्रुथ। ये हमारे चैनल का मुख्य उद्देश्य है एंड इट इज अ रियल focus of our channel to show that the Vedic scriptures are truth. और उसमें sometimes we do not understand, sometimes we may not understand, and therefore, but that is due to our lack of understanding. But our sadhus, our great people who have focused on this, they have explained in detail. So today I'm going to show you something very interesting. The calculation of time. ये टॉपिक मेरे दिमाग में बहुत पहले से चल रहा है. This topic is going on in my mind for a long time. Because, see, these are the kind of things which bring faith to you. Even before the modern time calculation, the Vedic scriptures and our sadhus have documented it. The calculation of time. Very important for us. We get paid by the money. We use everything is dependent on time. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Kalo Asmi, that I am the Kal, like I am the time, I am Samaya. How does that time gets calculated? And you'll be shocked to know that in this series of science through Veda, I'll show you that how accurately subatomic calculation of time is done. Subatomic. You must have seen atomic calculation of time, which is considered very accurate, but it is also not accurate. There is an error in the atomic calculation of time over a period of time. But our time calculation, which the devatas use and that is used for us, Manushya, is very, very accurate. So let me show you my presentation today, and then you will see what I'm trying to show you. So today I'm going to show in a little bit different way. The screen is going to run behind me. So let us see how it goes. And just give me a second. So meanwhile, thank you all for joining and thank you all for supporting Sattology. It's really an honor for me and for all the hard work that we do, our teams who do that hard work, and they regularly show what they are doing regularly on a regular basis. So let me just start that presentation so you can see that. Can you see my presentation now? So in this today's show, I'm going to talk about shloka by shloka. What does time mean, calculation mean, and how does it happen for us? So let me just begin that. So you see on my on the screen, and let us do that. So in this particular, if I see this, if you see the two shloka together, charama sadvishenanam manako asamyutah sada Paramanu savigyayo niram akya brahmoti yata. So the atomic particle of time is called anu. Anu is the most basic calculation of time, most basic. Anu means the smallest particle. Anu is not atom. Like in English, there is no other word, so we're calling it. But it says charama sat, means it is so small. It is so small that it is virtually unseeable. Virtually unseeable. Charama small, and very small, very very small is called anu, and that is the first. If you all can see me, you can text me because I do not hear you. But if you can text me, that will be best. Anu. Anu means charama, very small. This is the basis of time calculation. I'm going to summarize that also because it is going to be a little technical. But the purpose of this presentation is to show you that how accurate our time calculation is in Veda. And this is from all the Vedic literatures combined together. Today sometimes I bring these topics and may seem out of topic with the current times, but believe me that once you understand how the time is calculated, then you will have faith that the Vedic scriptures are actually scientific documents, and they have much more detailed information than anywhere else. Like most of the time, the time calculations you see on Wikipedia or any of the channels, which is Wikipedia and the modern sources or the Western books, are very incomplete, very incomplete. So the two now, if you go by the shloka, Saeva Padarthasya Sarupa Astitasya cha, that this is the anu can never get dissolute. Kavalyam Param Mahan Vishesho Nirantara. And this anu is always existing and cannot doesn't change its form even towards the end of the uh, life. And the kala evam kalo apnimita sakshme sthalye cha sattama. Yeah, here the word is sthul, like the word comes sthulya sharir, the physical body. So this particular anu combines in multiple forms to create our physical body. So this anu is the source of that entire body. So the body develops based on anu. Now here we are talking about anu in the case of a time particle, the smallest time particle that we are showing here. you know. And the combination of this time is so important. You calculate your paksha, shukla paksha, krishna paksha. You calculate your vatsara, which is a year. You calculate the samvatsara means 100 years of your life. You calculate your murtha, you calculate your ghadi, you calculate your different time mechanisms you use to calculate. So the Vedic culture is so scientific that the if you want to calculate the muhurta, then what is the duration of muhurta? So from this presentation, you'll know what is muhurta, what is ghadi, what is the paksha, the shukla paksha, krishna paksha. Paksha happens within a month for you. What is masa? But everything goes back to such granular details connecting to atom. And in everywhere, the combination, the time taken to combine the atoms, वो जो उसको कंबाइन करने में जो समय लगता है, that is the time, that is the समय, that is the kal, or what you calculate. So this presentation will give you the scientific side of the Veda, where it tells you that how the time is calculated, and how you can utilize it better. The whole point is to use it better for our life. Hmm? And you can ask me many questions today on this area especially. So the shloka is, it's like, for example, Paramanu. Paramanu, anu, we already understood that it is atom, the smallest particle from which we start calculating time. Two anu, the time taken to combine the two anu is called Paramanu. So it's the second most smallest division of time. आपने परमाणु बम सुना है, लेकिन परमाणु, is it also a technical term? तो ऐसा नहीं है कि it was not that people did not know what is परमाणु at that time. The science was in the modern English language. The science has come in the 16th or 17th century or 15th century, not before that. Okay? But the Vedic science has existed from the time of Brahma, because Brahma is the first created being and he is our real ancestor, because he is from him we have all have come. I'm talking about the physical bodies. Our physical bodies are made and the karma and dhyana and jnana, everything is set up by him. And Swarg and Nark are being done based on the rules that he has set up from the Vedic knowledge. Even he was given the Vedic knowledge because the Veda comes from Bhagavan Hari. It doesn't come from human beings. This is called Aparushe. So now this Paramanu, which is a combination of two weapons, the time taken to combine two atoms is called Paramanu, which is the modern scientific talk about the creation of energy, the whether you divide an atom or you combine an atom. So that is, combining an atom takes more energy. It is called fusion nowadays in the modern terms. Anu anu do parmanu, like you said, two, and syat trasarenu tra smrita, and the parmanu, the three parmanu or six atoms become trisarenu. Smrita means it is called trisarenu. Jalarkasham vivagata khame na anupatagat. And you can see them in the sky. Like, for example, when you see from a window, when the sunlight is coming in, and you see from the windows, then you see some particles moving up against the gravity. And when you see those particles moving up against the gravity, then you understand. So that movement, that particle which is moving, is called trisrenu. You can see from your naked eyes, but you cannot see. Once you close the window, you cannot see those particles. So that is called trasarenu. And two parmanu become uh, the anu dwa parmanu syat trasarenu. you know so the double atom, so the two double atoms make up trasarenu. Therefore it becomes three atoms, six atoms, because parmanu is this. Traya means three, parmanu means six atoms, six anu, three parmanu, six anu. Hmm? And you can see jala arka rashmi avagata ksham kham eva. Kham generally refers to ether or the sky. We see the Sanskrit words are very accurate, very exact. The Sanskrit words talk about kham, because kham is the space, empty space. We are not surprised by the space. जैसे बहुत लोग बोलते हैं, many people say that the UFOs, America में there is a big trend right now कि unidentified flying objects. We're not surprised by that, because we already know that there is an existence of life in every single planet of this universe, everywhere. So this knowledge also debunks the Western control of time, because the church, when I say Western, means church, because the church defines everything. Like, you cannot even escape that, because they want to everywhere. They want to put their own thought, and in the Islamism, they copy that, and anyone else copies that. But there is a science originally comes from Veda, because you can actually see it. Now this is an experiment. You can look in the windows of your window of when the sunshine comes in, you see the small particles moving up against the gravity. Now that is called trasarenu. You already know that is three parmanu or six atoms together. Just imagine how small will be the atom, because that is the dimension of the atma also. Okay, so it is so small, you cannot see anywhere with your naked eyes. In fact, it is said atma can be even smaller than the atom. Just imagine how small it is. When they say nanam chindati chatrani nanam dati pavaka, nakledyanto apo, cannot be dissolved, cannot be burned by fire, cannot be cut into pieces by any weapons. That is the dimension of atma. Just imagine how small it is, even smaller than the atom, anu. Now now in the shastra, when you talk about parmanu has a technical meaning to that. That is two anu. Okay? Now we'll move further. Now the whole purpose of this presentation is just to debunk that the science actually never came from Western world. The science was never their domain. Vigyan, though, science means observational. The three aspects of science. One is Pratyaksha Praman, means the which you see it from your eyes. Then there is a Anuman Praman, which you experience or infer. And the third is Shabda Praman, which we are talking about here. Now, from the Shabda Praman comes Anuman Praman and also calls Pratyaksha Praman, because from this knowledge you can actually see things as they are. So now you are actually seeing from the point of view of Shastra. Now, this topic is very technical, but it is very interesting for some people who are interested in science from the Veda. These are the things which make up your faith or Shraddha. Ado Shraddha Tatha Sadhu Sangha. So once you have that Shraddha, then you are going to associate with those people who have that Shraddha. Sadhu. Sadhus have Shraddha. Sadhu doesn't mean one who is smiling like they're showing the TV serials and one who is always doing esoteric things. Sadhu means who speaks truth and who is trying to wake you up. He doesn't speak pleasing words. He speaks words which actually are important for you. Pleasing words are not all important for you. You know, we have to speak pleasingly. Anudekaram vakyam satyam priyatam chayat. So you have to speak words which are not agitating, which are peaceful, which are happy, which are beneficial. We have to speak those words. But the sadhu's point is just to wake you up so that you see the reality. So in our culture, we don't do wah wah like we see all the way wah wah. That is a Persian concept. That is an Arabic concept. We do sadhu sadhu. Like that, even the humor has to help us in our advancement of our existence. No, we cannot have blind humor. Just like an uneducated person, we just go and we are just happy. Sadhu, this is the biggest humor is when we look in the mirror and we see what are we doing, where are we. That's the real humor. Somebody tells you the reality, then you laugh at yourself that what have I been doing, wasting our time, you know? So the the now Trasarenu, Trasarenu is a very technical concept. Now, Trasarenu is three Paramanu, Trasarenu is Paramanu, three Paramanu, and then the time they take to integrate Trasarenu, three Trasarenu, when they come together, that is called Kala, and also it is known as Truti, and from and then 100 Truti becomes Veda, and then 3 Veda becomes Lava. This is the time. Now, what is Truti? Now, just imagine how small will be that calculation of atom or Paramanu and Trasarenu. Now, that 1 second is divided into 1687.5 times. That is the duration of a Truti. Just imagine how subatomic we have gone, subatomic. And now this is creates a calculation of time. Like I said, time is so important for Manushya. Lava matra sadhu sanga sarva siddhi hoy. That now when we talk about lava, now here it is love means uh, it's called 100 Trisarenu becomes Truti, 100 Truti, and then Veda, it becomes 100. Veda is 100 Truti, and then 3 Veda is become Lava. 3 Veda becomes Lava. So Lava and Chana is the same meaning. Lava and Chana. We say ek Chana. Just imagine how small is Chana. It's literally it's a the English word moment is not a second. English word moment is incomplete because we talk about Chana. Chana means lava. That's how we say lava matra. Lava matra is a sub-second time. When the Shastra says little bit of your interaction with a sadhu can save you from the greatest danger or give you the complete siddhi or success of life. Success of life is freedom from karma bandhana. That is called moksha also. We all talk about uh, the purushartha, and we all talk about that moksha is the last one. Moksha is the dharma, artha, kam, and moksha. Nobody talks about moksha nowadays. We just dharma, artha, kam, because we think that life is made for enjoyment. That is a rakshasi mindset. That's what the Ravana was doing. That's what Kumbhakarna was doing. That's what Kamsa was doing. Jarasan was doing. And even Karna was doing to some extent. Nimesh. Now, when you heard the word Nimesh so many times. You know, the three lover becomes Nimesh, and then Atmatre Tray Kshana. So lover is also Kshana. Like I said in the before, and three Chana, and the five Chana, March Chana becomes Kashtha, and the five Kashtha becomes one Lagu, and 15 Kashtha becomes Lagu. Now 15 Kashtha becomes Lagu, which is virtually 2 minutes now. So that means if you divide Lagu, which is roughly 2 minutes, and you will be surprised to see when we say lagu tatmika thinking. Lagu means small, but in calculation of time it is 15 kastha, and 15 kastha, if you see, divided into the five chana. Chana means lava and chana is the same thing. Now 15 lagu means nadika or danda, and actually 12 lagu, which is 24 minutes, is Mahabharat. It is called a uh, ghadi. Ghadi means uh, one ghadi is not, it's called 12 nadika or 12 danda. So danda becomes the humanly calculatable time. Actually it is if you look at the last shloka, actually it is the lagu, because 2 minutes. Therefore, now you'll see all the mantra are running on ghadi. Like for example, Sri Ram took do ghadi, which is 48 minutes, to kill 14,000 Rakshasa, including Khara and Dushan. Just imagine the power of Sri Ram fighting 14,000 Rakshasa, which are very, very strong. Not just, those 14,000 Rakshasa can defeat any large army today, including US armies. They can defeat easily. Now, that's the level of prowess of Sri Ram. You cannot compare how Sri Ram is fighting, or what is the prowess of Sri Ram. you know. Now, two danda, the danda is 15 lagu means 30 minutes, and that is nadika or danda, and two nadika make some one muhurta. You know, and two nadika means one muhurta. Now you can calculate what is muhurta. So when we say lagu is 2 minutes, and nadika is 30 minutes, okay, and so two nadika or two danda means 60 minutes is called muhurta. Now 6 or 7, so now again 6 or 7, 6 times danda, which is the one danda is approximately 30 minutes. So 6 is 180 minutes. 180 minutes in today's time, 180 minutes is how many hours? 3 hours. Exactly 3 hours, which makes up one fourth of a day or night by human calculation. You know, so this is, see how granular we are calculating. We are using different time altogether. So when we say 6 danda, 6 danda, sometimes 7 also, because when there is a longer night, or there is a, so why the concept of 7 is there? Because they can be, so in the modern time there is a calculation of leap year which is accumulating, but in our Vedic culture that is accumulated into 6 or 7 danda, so which is 3 hours, or little bit more than 3 hours sometimes, which make up so 60 minutes make up one murta, which is two danda make up one murta, And so when you talk about Murtha, Murtha means is a technical term. So when you say that Brahma Murtha, that means you have to just say that 60 minutes before sunrise, 60 minutes after sunrise is the Brahma Murtha time. That means Brahma Muhurta, we have qualified it to be a two Muhurta technically. So now, if you want to do your mantra japa in the Brahma Muhurta time, then these are the calculations you can make, that within 30 minutes and 30 minutes, we will calculate, we will make sure, therefore, generally all the Pandit give Muhurta time generally 30 minutes, because that is one Muhurta. And those 30 minutes are very important for us to come out of the cycle of karma bandhana. That's how time is connected to us. You know, this I'm making it relevant to the human lifestyle. Yama means day. In Sanskrit we call it day. And sometimes the prahar is also called the is the technical name for 3 hours, or 6 or 7 danda, or 3 muhurta. So 3 muhurta makes it one prahar. Prahar doesn't mean hour. Okay, understand the technical words here. The prahar means 3 muhurta generally, which is 3 hours. You know, so and which is prahara, generally 3 hours. So the again Dwadasha Sharda Palonmanam Chaturvish Turangale Gule. Now, again, how you calculate it is that you actually pour a water, chaturangula, 4 fingers by measure, and of made of gold, and the time it takes to overflow the pot, that is Dwadash Ardha, 6. These are the measurement given to calculate the time. So when you calculate it, then you actually know how long is the time of that prahar. You know, this is the time of calculation. So now, the for the human being, this is the way we calculate the time and hours. And again, obviously, sunrise and sunset. Now, how to calculate the muhurta, how to come out of the muhurta, and that's why the Vedic knowledge is very, very scientific. Like, you make a hole in a pot and you see how long it comes to fill up, and that is the measurement of the time danda. Now, 4 prahara. Now the day is called yama. Okay, uh, and so 4 in the day, 4 prahara means 12 hours approximately in the day, and 4 in the night is called yama. The calculation. So yama is the name of the day. Like Sanskrit, in English we call it day, but yama. And 15 such days are fortnight, or shukla or paksha. Shukla krishnascha manada panchadashani. And 15 days and night is called paksha, which is shukla paksha, or krishna paksha. Shukla paksha is that when the moon is visible, and krishna paksha is when the moon is not visible. So most of the calculation is done on the basis of the moon, because moon has a smaller interval for the earth. Because now I'll come upon it something else. So just imagine, if you are now, I will leave this question for you to decide. So if something is further away from you, so will it be appearing very slow or very fast? So you have to see, because that can cover a longer distance. It can move slowly and it can cover a longer distance, so it will appear very slow. And also it can be very appear very fast also, because it is further away. Tayo samuchyo masa pitranam darshana. And two such paksha, two such masa means two paksha, two such month, we still use the word month, and tayo samuchyo masa pitranam dar harshinam. And two such uh, uh, two such paksha make up one mass. Okay. Now that mass is the 1 day and night of Pitra. So Pitralok, now you're connecting the Pitralok to this. So two such paksha is 1 day and night. So 1 month is 1 day or night for Pitraloka. And then uh, when then you have Dwa Tavritu Shadayanam Dakshanam Chotaram Vidhi. Now for the if you look at that, then the Ayanam or two such periods, like two such mass, is called Ritu. Ritu, a season. And then 6 months, which is the three ayanam or two ayanam, comprises one movement of air. So Ritu is two, so three. So which is says Dvamanta season, Shat ayanam. So 3 months or 6 months, which is a Ritu, three Ritu, so which is 6 months, which is called Ayanam. That's why we call Uttarayanam and Dakshinayanam. And that's when you decide. So it is a very classical case of Bhishmadev waiting for Shukla Paksh and moving in the time of the day, leaving the body. So he had full knowledge of this calculation of time. And I'm also going to summarize it later on so you don't get confused, because I am also getting confused because all this information and the topics, even though I know, but still I get in explaining to you. Ayane chahani prahur vatsaro dvadasha smrita. So the dwadash or the 12 masa makes up 1 day, and 1 day and night is called the complete, is called one complete, and that combination is called one complete calendar year. Dwadasha Smrita. Ayane. And ayan we already explained to you. I already explained to you. And then Samvatsara Shatam. So that is the duration of life told for us. Now believe me, 1 year is just 1 day or night for the Devata. Okay. For the Pitra is less, is 1 month is 1 day in life for them. Just imagine the lifespan of Devata now. So this is the summary screen, and after that we can take some questions. So Anu, I hope you all can see me and you can see. Uh, Anu is Anu, Paramanu is 2 Anu, Trasarenu is 3 Paramanu, then Truti is 3 Trasarenu, Veda is 100 Truti, Love is 3 Veda, and now I'll come back to Nimesha, Kshana, Kashtha, Lagu, Nadika or Danda, Murtha, and Prahar, which is 6 or 7 Nadika, Ahani, which is 4 Prahar, Paksha, Mas, Ritu, Ayanam, which is 3 Ritu, Uttara or Dakshin, and Vatsara means 2 Ayanam, which is 1 day or night for Devata. So this is the calculation of time which is being told in the Veda. You know, the 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 point is, so when you check on this, that Anu, Paramanu, Trasarenu, and when you check on this, this is how the time is calculated for for our society, for the Manushya. And this is how you make decisions on which Murtha to use, which Murtha to work on, and what we do intend to do with our life. And the whole point is that we work to remove the effects of Kali Yuga on all of us through our tapasya, dhyan, and learning of our culture through Veda and Mahabharata and Ramayana. You know? And the once we understand the calculation of time, and then we actually make a decision on how we can spend our life for the spiritual advancement. you know I'll be happy to have anyone asking questions, and clarifying, or any of the topics that we did before. And thank you all of you for joining for this Sunday, that live session I have, and where you can learn, and I try to bring up some new topics. So please, you can text your questions and I'll be happy to answer. So one of the questions which I feel is coming here is that, how does it compare with the modern science? Now that's a very good question. The modern science is the one of in modern science is based on pratyaksha praman, or the seeing of the uh, with our eyes, and how much can our eyes can see. And eyes have a very limited visibility. In the night we cannot see, we can perceive things, we cannot hear things. So just by depending on our senses for understanding science is not enough. So there are many things we use: inferences and logic and reasoning. So Vedic scriptures, or the Puran, our Shastra, Upanishad, give us information on how we can use our mind for our uh, for expanding our mind through meditation, dhyan, and tapasya. Tapasya means reading. So if you do not read from our shastra, your mindset doesn't make up. See, all these mythologists, they keep on spreading the hate culture. Like they want perfection on everything. So most of the mythologists will actually demoralize you. So we have to begin to start thinking in a different way. We have to start understanding that that the people who are you know are averse to the knowledge culture, they will always find some problem. Like the somebody will say that, okay, you are promoting this for your own thing, your personal gains. You have to ignore them, because these foolish people, they will usually try to demote you, or say that you're going in the wrong direction. But understanding Vedic Shastra makes you more clear in your modern interactions, day-to-day interactions, gives your identity stronger. So you won't be easily impressed by the Western scholars or the Western mythologists, or who are spreading fake news, and also Indian mythologists. Now most of these mythologists come with very fancy names and fancy work and fancy titles. They will claim to be researchers, but they have no faith on the Vyasdev. Now this is written by the Vyasdev. When Vyasdev writes this for us, then this becomes an important source of information. But these mythologists and the complainers, I call them complainers, they keep on complaining about everything. And they want the more, maybe they're not intelligent enough to understand all these things. So we have to ignore such people, but we have to focus on the Shastra. Because if you keep on giving them importance, they're going to bring your morale down. So one of the things which I always recommend is, this is from the fourth canto, or the fourth skand of Bhagavad Puran, and also Kathopanishad. Also the same knowledge is given, and there are information like this in Yajur Veda as well as in Sama Veda. So yesterday I was hearing by one comment I gave for a live talk, and somebody told me that Sama Veda is about the music, and I was shocked to hear that. I must tell you, Sama Veda is not about the music. Samveda is written in a way where we we can actually, Samveda means that you can sing it, but it's Vedic knowledge. It's not a musical treatise. In fact, the music is an upanga of Veda. It's not the main part of the Veda. So upanga means it is a corollary or an addition. Okay? So one question has come from uh, in modern science we use nanosecond for 1 gigahertz processor. The unit is bigger. Is there explanation for think of? No. Now, in this information we have is nanosecond. Now, the atom, the anu particle, is actually much smaller than maybe a nanosecond, if you calculate it that way, because it's 1685th part is Tisrenu. So the truti, sorry. So that means the one atom or anu can be a smaller measurement than the nanosecond, or it is similar to that nanosecond also. And so maybe we have to research more on that, you know, and then we can actually see it, research it, see it. So there's another question comes in, with इंद्रजीत ने इंद्र देवता को स्वर्ग में जाकर हराया था या फिर धरती पर ही. So, all these different stories in Devta, you have to understand Swarg is a reality, Narak is a reality, and Manushalok is a reality. All three are realities. And the point which I'm trying to say is the Indrajit ne Indra Devta ko. So it can be in Indraloka also, because some people were able to travel in the past, even till the time of Arjun, just 5,500 years back or 7,000 years back, whatever the dates are there. In Arjun did travel to Indraloka. Yudhishthir also traveled to Indraloka. And so there are many people who travel to Indraloka. So it is not something new science. So must have done that also over there. And believe me, people who it doesn't really affect me, but I feel sorry for them, people who make such kind of comments. So don't worry about it. It doesn't affect me at all. There are a lot of people who speak garbage and they write garbage. It's nothing to do with us. So anybody else has a question, you can type it out here, and we will definitely work on correcting some things. Yojan distance may be different on land, water, air, and space, which is a good question. So yojan is 8 miles. One yojan is 8 miles, and it is the same distance in land, water, air, and space. Okay, it is the same distance. So so all the distances between different planets on Earth or in the sky, they are actually made, uh, calculated in Yojana. And I'll come to that also in detail, because Yojana calculation has a lot of doubts over there. But generally it is 8 miles or 8 into 1.6 kilometers, generally in today's distance. So if you calculate, if they say, if in Ramayana, Mahabharata, or Veda they say 5 yojana, 4 yojana, and this many prahar it took. Now that's where the importance of the calculation of time comes in. So how do you know how much distance they traveled in how many prahar? So like for example, Bharat was in Kaikeyi land, Kaikeya Desh Pradesh, when Dashrath Maharaj left his body. It is said it took him 7 days and 7 nights to come from Kaikeya to Ayodhya to perform the last rites of Bharat Maharaj, of Dashrath Maharaj. So now you can say the time mentioned over there is in Prahar. How many Prahar he spent. Now, so all this calculation time which I show today, if you go back on the presentation and check it out, and then you will see how this exactly has been calculated. So it will help you in your sadhana. It will help you. Generally, it is said that you should do your japa in 2 muhurta, do muhurta. So 2 muhurta means 2 hours or 1 hour. No? So 2 hours, yes. So that's how you should do your muhurta, and so therefore the all this information that when you work on, then you will gradually come to see the time is an essence for us, because we have been given 100 years, and how it actually helps us in connecting with our shastra much better through mantra, through reading, through the performing our rites, our puja paddhati, following a puja paddhati in a given period of time. Uh, this one question now which came uh, again for our kids, with right sir, out of context question, Malay and six other mountains. Malayadesh, we spoke in Mahabharat session last time. Malayadesh is not Malaysia. Malayadesh is refers to a larger area. Like for example, the entire southeast Jambu Dweep, the entire region is called Malayadesh, including the islands. Like for example, Yavadweep, Suvarna Dweep, today they call Sumatra, but actually name was Suvarna Dweep, and Papua New Guinea, Australia. All these are different islands south. Okay, so these are all called Malayadesh. The Ghatotkoch was ruling in that area and starts from Burma, southern part of Burma, all the way down. Bangladesh, which is there today, which is called Bangladesh, which was under Maharaj, under the rulers of Konark. Konark is a new name, but Kalingadesh was the actual name. Kalinga. So rulers of Kalinga ruled Bangladesh from beginning. And one good question by Junna is Bhagavatam 5th canto 1 lakh Yojana. Uh, please put your views. So one thing is there, the calculation mentioned in Bhagavatam, and there are other corollaries also which you can use, and 800,000 miles, and we'll have to check on it sometimes the Yojana distances are extended, but the Vedic knowledge given in Bhagavad Puran is the same as the Vedic knowledge given in other Veda. So I will do a separate session or a show on the distances of different planets based on Vedas. So I'm going to combine Bhagavad Puran and other Veda for doing that. And also the point is uh, that it is stacked one after the other, not the same. So it is one after the other. So it is not stacked up like this. It can be in different motions in other dimensions. So there is a whole the Vedic cosmology. I'm planning to invite a very expert on that Vedic cosmology. In that, we're going to discuss that in detail. Okay? I'll keep the name secret, but it's a very popular person. Then Love Preet Singh ji writes, thank you so much. And when we are serving the society, and I'll be very clear with you, you can join us. There are 12 session Sattology courses which you can join and learn about these sciences in detail. There we tell you the basics, that how to build Shraddha. Because without Shraddha, you cannot get into the basics. Like for example, if in order to go to a college, you have to put faith in your professor, and so therefore it is very important that once you build the Shraddha, that 12 session course is all about building the factual information about the Shastra and how you can analyze further. Then you can fly your own plane. Like just for example, if you go through a basic training course in driving a motorbike or a car, then you can actually go longer distances once you are comfortable. Same is with Shastra also. So once you understand the basic concept, then you go further. It's a 12 session course. You can always write to us to join the course at Sattology at sattology.org. Sattology at sattology.org. And through these live shows and videos and this, we do take, it's a non-profit, religious non-profit, it's a Hindu non-profit. And for education services, we spend a lot of money in running these courses in different schools and colleges in the US and now beginning in other countries also. So we do expect your support, but we never ask for it. It's already indirectly asked, actually, always, because that is not our work. Our work is to present the knowledge. Uh, and so there's another question which has come from Riddhiman Sen. Welcome, Riddhiman. I think you were there in last show also. Is it true that Chatur Yuga are 43 lakhs older? Evolution shows that human evolved to one. No, most of the evolution stories of the Western academics is fake. Most of them, they don't even understand anything. Like for example, uh, most of the Western scholars, most of the Western scholars will say that the human life started in 4000 BC, which is a total lie. Just in USA, the life is there for 70,000 years. So they contradict themselves all by all. According to us, the evolution started from the beginning of Brahma's appearance and Brahma coming to this earth. That's where the evolution started, or the life started on this planet. And evolution is measured in terms of getting good qualities or bad qualities. Evolution is not measured in producing the life cycle. So the chronology mentioned in by the Western academics is very shallow, and I don't see any logical basis for it. Like they all say that human beings came from Africa. I mean, very illogical talk. Humans came in the entire earth at the same time, and they came through one person, which is Brahma. It is never a like one source, one source. They actually want to say that they all came from Europe. They want to say that. That's why they colonized Africans. Africans, they're saying that they're superior to Africans. And that's what the Europeans did. Most of the world's problem have come from there, including in science. Yeah, Anish, a very good point. There is a whole part we have done with Nilesh, and you can see the Yuga stories over there. Good point, Anish. Thanks for putting it there. And uh, and thank you, Anish, for helping. And South Africa, yeah, I do not know the country restrictions, so we do not know that. But it's a good point. So there is already a series on yoga by Nilesh Oak on our channel, and you can watch it very in detail, very scientific explanation. Then Vedvir Arya has also done it, and Dr. Raja has also done it. So we do not endorse or do any dates, because that's not my work. Is my work is mostly on debunking the mythology, which is the fake news which is being spread. So my focus is more on narrations, but that's why I depend on Nilesh Oak and other Vedvir Arya and other scholars who come on our show, including Manish Pandit has come, and they are the ones who are more into the dating things. So, but Nilesh Oak's presentations are one of the most detailed scientific ones. You can check it out. So there are last 7 minutes left here. If anyone doesn't have any question, then we will move on, and I'll wait for you next week. In the next week, I am going to take you on a totally different topic, and which is on the medical evolution or the history of medical science, and through the process of development of child in the womb of a mother from Veda. You'll be shocked to know that the Vedic knowledge covers, like, not only just the physical development of the body in the mother's womb, but also talks about the feelings and what are the prayers they say. All of us have done those prayers, whether we know it or not know it. you know. So Dhananjay ji asks me a question: महाकाल काल भैरव का संबंध समय है क्या? का संबंध समय? Very good question. So this samay, definition of samay, is told by Maitreya Rishi. Now Maitreya Rishi, everybody knows he's a great follower of Shiva. So Shivji actually maintains the Mrityu Samsar cycle in this world. Therefore, he's called Mahakal, because he decides. And that is the responsibility given by Brahma to Niyukta. The Sanskrit shabd used is Niyukta. In Mahabharata, if you read that, the conversation between Shiva and Brahma, then Brahmaji Niyukt appoints him for as a Mahakal, or the person who determines the length of the lifespan of individuals. So, good question. Very good question. So, there is a Kala Bhairav, and Mahakal is the synonym. Okay, it's like the same meaning. It refers to the same person, but the two different words. Very good question, Dhananjay ji. Any other question anyone else has? So thank you all for joining today, and thank you for staying back and supporting us. Do watch the live sessions. Most of these live sessions, I take examples. Sometimes I show using Google Earth, and there. So Bhupendra ji का एक question आया है. I'll just take it. Uh, are there any proof of solar eclipse during There are many videos of Nilesh Oak on solar eclipse. Okay, and there are one or two videos of Dr. Raja on Sattology channel. Do check it out. Do check it out. And the Nilesh Oak, there is a separate playlist for him. Do check it out on that. And also, there is one video by Rupa Bhati on our channel also. Check it out. Lovepreet Singh ji, definitely. Das Rajan Yudh. You need to specify that, because what you are referring to, or then I'll definitely make that. One more point I'll say, because Yuga calculates third movement, that is 26,000 years. So understand one thing, that the Yuga calculation is a predetermined cycle. It has nothing to do with Earth. Yuga calculation is determined by Brahma. So it is the Earth moves according to Yuga cycle. Okay, it is not that Brahma calculates Yuga by Earth movement. So Yuga is a predetermined time. That means that this is the allotted time in which the Srishti will go on, the 1 year will go on. So somebody must have put a restriction on Brahma also. That's the point to think about. Who put that restriction on Brahma? Why is he given 100 years? So that is a point to think about. So thank you all for joining. Namaste, and I'll see you next week with very interesting topic on one of the scientific sides of Veda. Namaskar. Thank you.